My name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review for the 11th episode of The Apprentice. So we obviously found out that we had our final five: Megan, Marnie, Rochelle, Danny and Victoria. We found out that the candidates were going to be going to a venue called High Low, which was in East London, for their interviews, with Danny explaining that her stomach has dropped and Victoria stating that she had only ever been to one proper interview. Rochelle suggested that they should go and all read their business plans before obviously doing their interviews. So we kind of had a bit of a background insight to all of the girls. So for Marnie, she actually grew up in a caravan. She said that there was no goal that was too difficult or too far to achieve. And Marnie said that obviously to approach the interview stage with boxing as the kind of aggressor, because obviously she wanted to go into a kind of boxing business, so she was going to go in with kind of like that kind of mentality. Rochelle said that obviously these are the most important interviews of her life, saying that she needed to be prepared and obviously it could be a life-changing experience for both her family and obviously her children. Victoria said that she's never written a business plan before, she's not been to university, and she wants to prove that she does know what she's doing and she is obviously here to make money. Megan explained that she feels like she has a solid business plan. The investment would take her 20 steps further ahead of where she's currently at, and she knows everything that she can do and she knows that she will be able to do everything that she needs to in order to get there. And finally with Danny, she basically explained that she's not very good with numbers, but she knows that obviously numbers need to go up. She said losing for her is never an option, but she's always happy to take that risk. With Victoria saying to the girls, this is it, interview day. Danny saying that by this time tonight, obviously everything will be completed. And Megan said they're going to have a lot of things to say about all of their business plans, with someone getting the 250,000 within their business. And Victoria said that she's going to be nervous if Karen is on the panel. So Lord Sugar asked the five ladies whether their business plans stacked up. And he also said that Karen was actually going to be one of the advisors that they were going to speak to. Initially, we saw Danny going to her first interview with Mike Suter, with him saying that she had made unsubstantiated claims or something like that. Karen said to Rochelle that her sales and costings were wrong and there was no detail. Linda Plant asked Marnie whether she had a USP, saying that it just seemed like a normal opening, that there wasn't anything special about it. And for Megan, she met Claude Lintner, and he said that her numbers were poor, and that she'd not worked out the costs for the shop fit. Danny explained that she was a little bit nervous. Megan said it was quite scary. Victoria said she was more nervous about Karen being on the panel, and Marnie said she's never heard Danny speak so quietly. So that was pretty much it in terms of the pre-interviews. And then actually for the interviews, I did make a note of every single interview, but I won't go through everything in too much detail. But yeah, it was pretty much just the interviews and finding out who got through to the final two. So up first was obviously Danny seeing Claude, and she basically said that her idea is obviously to sell hair extensions to the other salons. Turnover is currently between 150 and 250,000 per year, with Claude saying that she's not very good with numbers, and he actually asked her what the profit was, and she kind of said that the profit was actually the revenue, something different, I'm not sure what it was, but he asked for the profit or the turnover and she kind of gave a different number. And she obviously said that it's hard to know what you need in terms of hair because it's a constantly changing business, and Claude basically said that it felt like 84% of her money was going to go into hair, with Claude saying that he thinks they've come to the end of that interview. So it didn't really go too great for her. And then Marnie said that Victoria is quite elegant and classy, and that for Megan, she said that it's going to be a tough interview, but yeah, that Victoria is also tough as well. So Victoria's first interview was with Linda. Again, her idea was to open an online pick-and-mix shop, but she wanted to use kiosks to have kind of more like the automated interaction. She said that she's got 5 years as a VIP working attendant on a plane, and she has plated first-class food before on flights. Linda explained that there seemed to be no gap in the market, her idea was saturated, and Victoria said that she wanted to use well-presented boxes. She's already got a company who want to order 5,000 units. Linda said that the airline industry currently needs hostesses at the moment, so just maybe to stick with that. And Danny basically said she was the least worried about Marnie, because obviously Marnie can fight her case. So Marnie went in with Mike, explained that her business was all about creating a boxing gym, having that middle market between both beauty, boutique and standard. Mike said The gym that she wants to open near the Bank of England has obviously a lot of competition, and I think he said there was 21 other venues around where she was planning to launch. For Claude, his first interview was with Rochelle. She said again she wants to open a hair academy, launch 2 new locations, and spend £25,000 for those 2 new buildings. With Claude explaining that her numbers don't add up and it doesn't really make a great reading. Potentially she could turn her £150,000 business into 1.5 million. Rochelle said that she's determined, and Claude said that she's not ambitious, she's just reckless. Victoria said that obviously with Megan, if it goes wrong with Karen, it could obviously knock Megan's confidence. Karen basically said to Megan that she had a crazy business plan, there was no depth, no substance, and it was only 14 pages long. Megan explained that she only had 4 weeks before the show to actually get the business plan done, explained that she was super busy, adding that she does actually take the process very, very seriously, and apparently that she had a £600,000 turnout in terms of her business. Karen said it wasn't reasonable, and I think on the way out she said, "Thank you very much, Karen," and she basically said, "It's Baroness Brady to you." So yeah, a little bit of a, I feel like an insult, because if you've got a title, you want to have that title used, but I think she was just a little bit shy, a little bit nervous. But yeah, the business plan was only 14 pages and she didn't actually have that long to work on it. Victoria then went to see Claude, and that in her first year, the rental of the kiosks will be about 90,000, and he basically worked out that if she was going to spend £7,000 a week times 52 weeks in the year, that's not 90,000, that's over 390,000, with Victoria saying that there would be a discounted rate if you were to use the kiosks for more than a year. Claude said that obviously she hadn't even planned thinking about stock within the business plan, and Victoria said that that was a bit of a mistake. Danny went to go and see Linda, and she said that she wanted to go with the theme of having mermaids, oceans, and obviously that was her USP, something different, branding things within like a holiday theme, with Linda questioning, is that actually a USP? Danny said that she loves the association that people have feeling like a mermaid, with Linda saying that her idea was just hilariously mad. Mike questioned to Rochelle that if she only wanted a 50-metre squared room for a floor plan, that was really, really small, with Rochelle saying she didn't need a bar, and Mike said that basically with 16 people, the chairs and everything like that, it was quite still a small space with those measurements, and that it wasn't luxurious, and Rochelle agreed, saying it would probably be a little bit too small and she would go back and obviously make those changes. Karen then had her chat with Marnie, and she explained that she had £200,000 worth of grants from Sport England and other sporting assets, saying that she would have the money on the outside, and she said that she does have a letter of confirmation, but it isn't signed, it's just been 3 years in progress, and Karen had a concern that obviously it hadn't been signed. Marnie basically said that she obviously admires Karen quite a lot, and she is to football what Marnie is to boxing. Megan had her chat with Linda, and Linda basically said her idea was basically cocktails or food, and it was kind of a terrible idea to merge the two together. And obviously for Megan to be able to sell drinks and things like that, she would need the alcohol beverage themselves, the liquor license, and that could take potentially years. Megan said that she still believes the idea would work. Karen then had her quick chat with Rochelle, and Rochelle said that she was planning on getting a store in Belgravia, London, which is obviously expensive. About 130,000 for the year is the average price, and Karen said that that's quite a small space, and from what she's seen, the lowest price would be 230,000. That means Rochelle said she'd be paying the stylist about £12.50 an hour, and Rochelle said that it's not a reflection on her, that's just how she's budgeted. Megan then had her chat with Claude asking where Lord Sugar was on her business, and she basically said he would be helping to obviously create that new brand for me. And Claude said that she had not identified the new model that she wanted to use, and she hadn't listed the different costs or where she was obviously making that profit. Megan explained that her numbers were not 100%, and he basically just said her business plan was a pile of rubbish. Danny then had her chat with Mike, and he said that there was a confidentiality agreement at the beginning of her business plan, and that he said that that really, really upset her, because obviously you want people to read the business plan, you don't want it to be confidential. So she said, "I'm really sorry if that's upset you," and then she had to basically sign that he was allowed to read the document. And he basically just said it felt like Lord Sugar was just investing in digital marketing, asked her how much she would probably spend for that, and she said it would be 10,000 is the marketing budget. And then with Linda and Marnie, Linda explained that she obviously gave up her legal career to become a manager owner of a club, and Marnie said that she understands the market, with Linda saying that trainers are most important when it comes to gyms, and that things it seems like will be done for free with no wages paid. So obviously Marnie might fall back on that, saying that she wanted to build up the clientele and it was mutually beneficial for both her and also the trainers, because they were getting work and also they were working in a gym. With Linda saying, yeah, once you've built up the clients and you've had those connections, they're going to leave, get trained up and go elsewhere. And Marnie said that this is her industry and that Linda could educate her on business but not on boxing. And then we had a few final interviews. So Victoria and Karen. Karen said that there were so many holes in her business plan, including the fact she didn't have any staff costs, and she said that she tried to cost 5 members of staff, which included 2 managers, 2 staff per kiosk, and obviously herself. And Karen explained that it was hugely disappointing, which obviously led Victoria to start crying. She said that she'd worked so hard and she will be going back to obviously check her numbers. And obviously when she came out, Danny asked her what happened. Victoria said that obviously Karen was disappointed in her, and Marnie said that they all know the real Victoria. Rochelle had then her chat with Linda saying it was a bit of a fairy tale expansion to have a new salon every 6 months, 10 salons in total over the 5 years. And Rochelle said her plan was just to have an original one, 2 new ones, and to always set her aims high. With Linda saying her ideas are quite unrealistic and quite rubbish. Mike pointed out to Victoria that obviously she says that she's got good ability to have detail, attention to detail, and good focus on that. And he basically pointed out that there were 33 spelling and grammar errors within her first page, asking her whether she actually went through to reread it again. She explained that she didn't go to university, she's pretty much been self-educated. And he basically said to her, well, you did go to school, it's just from after that you were self-educated. And then, yeah, with Danny and Karen, Karen said it was a brilliant online structured shop that she had, but there was just no products. She continued to go on to say she hasn't actually put as much effort into the business plan as she thought she was going to, because she didn't actually realise she would get this far in the process. And with Karen asking her if she actually had faith in herself, she explained that she holds herself back a little bit. And Karen basically said that she was disappointed, especially because she's worked so hard in the process so far. Victoria had her chat with Mike asking, is there a unique distributor? Is it different to any other companies? And she said that the presentation of her boxes and the use of the social media was obviously a lot more appealing than other companies, with Mike again saying there was no USP. Danny said they've all put in a solid shift, and Rochelle said that it's been intense and there's £250,000. Each of the girls went through their businesses. And actually, I think this is where the advisors discussed with Lord Sugar what their thoughts and feelings were. So for Danny, they basically said that obviously she wanted to have a hair salon. She would use £10,000 worth of hair extensions to sell it to third parties. Karen said it was almost like having a wholesaler. Mike said that she's never actually practiced this kind of thing before. And Linda said it was a massive amount of hair. Karen said the industry could get between £300 and £1,000 per piece of hair, and Claude explained that she obviously had no idea with her numbers. With Marnie, Lord Sugar said that there was a seed of an idea, with Claude saying that she has made a lot of different roads in order to get capital for her first adventure, with Karen saying that she has £300,000 worth of fundings if she pays off, if she signs the lease, saying that she obviously is determined, but that she wasn't going to be paying the trainers. And Linda said that not paying the trainers is obviously not something you would want for a startup company, and she is a gold medal boxer, and she does know her industry. So it was kind of the two of, she's never done business before, but she also knows the industry. With Megan, they said again that she already has a sweet shop in Hull, and she wants to obviously change that to kind of having like drinks, bars, cocktails, that kind of thing. And Lord Sugar said there's obviously certain criteria with that. Claude said that her numbers were not good, they were fabricated, and her turnover was supposedly 240,000, which was unsure whether that was from the current year or the previous year. With Rochelle, Lord Sugar said that she wanted to have a hair salon in Milton Keynes, with him saying it's Belgravia, not Barnet. Karen said that she has been in the business for 5 years with a £9 million company. And Claude said that she's been in business for that many years, and she obviously can make profits, with Linda saying that she's just focused on local areas. And finally for Victoria, Mike said that obviously her online pick and mix, she wanted to have kiosks as well. Karen said that she had kind of miscalculated her numbers by around 3,000. Claude added that she had no stock, and Lord Sugar said that she hasn't even bought the stock, with Karen saying that there was no calculation for the industry or for the actual people that she was going to hire themselves. In the boardroom, Lord Sugar discussed with all the girls what their business plans were. So with Danny, he basically asked her why and how she was going to spend £200,000 worth of his money on extensions, and she said she would sell them to salons in the UK it wouldn't be middleman profit because obviously it's quite an expensive business. She was going to have a theme based around mermaids, holidays, oceans, that kind of thing. He basically said to her that Claude had said she had no idea on numbers, or the sales or the profit that she would have made in the first year. With Danny saying that it's £200,000 worth of hair, but obviously, yeah, you do utilise it and you do actually use it all. Lord Sugar said her numbers were a mess, they didn't make any sense. He said he didn't understand the loans, and she basically explained that she had £300,000 worth of grants, loans and bounce back schemes, saying that as soon as she gets the lease signed, she'll get that money, and she's delivering something positive back to her community. Lord Sugar said that obviously the premises has not actually been lined up until that investment, and the loans sound a little bit too good to be true, with again Marnie saying she knows the industry. For Megan, Lord Sugar asked her how she had a £240,000 turnover, with Megan saying that her profit or / loss was about 5k, and he said he couldn't pick up her idea from the business plan. Megan said that they forecast over £250,000, with the profit obviously being higher, and it has been done within the last 2 years, £250,000 in the first year. And Lord Sugar said that her business plan was criminal. Again, he picked up on the fact that she wanted to extend into Belgravia, and she said that everyone has started small. Belgravia is obviously a lovely setting, a lovely part of the country, and obviously has the right clientele that she's looking for. And he said, yeah, but it's also a quick way for you to kind of blow my investment money. She said she's had a £9.4 million turnover, and that in 5 years she hopes to have 10 salons by that point, with Karen saying that she seems to know Rochelle's business plan a lot more than Rochelle actually knows it herself. And then for Victoria, he said that obviously there was miscalculations with the numbers. She had no idea about balance sheets, cash flow, anything like that. And she explained that she was new to business, and she's obviously never written a business plan before. He also explained that there was no mention of employees and obviously how she was going to pay those. And she said it would be herself in year 1, 3 employees in year 2, and then obviously however many in the following year, with Lord Sugar saying there was nothing unique about her idea, and Victoria obviously was then fired. She said thank you for the opportunity, and then Lord Sugar basically did a quick summary for Danny, saying that her business plan was bad. She said that she has proved that she is a businesswoman since she was 19 years of age. She has been, and he basically just said he's not sure if there's an extension on her business. And obviously Danny was then fired. She said that she enjoyed every single minute of the competition, and then we were left with 3 ladies. So we had Rochelle, Marnie and Megan. So when it came to the final 3, all 3 of them went outside, and Lord Sugar discussed with both Karen and Tim who should be the 2 finalists. For Marnie, Karen questioned whether she had the experience, and Tim said that if she was to put her mind to it, she could probably be successful. With Rochelle, Karen said that it's scalable over the next 5 years, and with Megan, Karen basically said if you received a business plan like this, it would go straight in the bin, with Tim saying that almost at £250,000 a year is a great achievement. So it's kind of like, well, what's Lord Sugar going to do by actually continuing to get involved with that? Again, like I said, out of those 3 girls, they all had to discuss why they thought they should get through to the final. Megan said proof is in the pudding. She's been running her business obviously at 25 years old, and she started it with having no money. Marnie said she hasn't got any business experience, she's investable, and she's got £300,000 worth of loans and business grants if she's obviously to be successful. And then with Rochelle, she explained that she knows her industry like the back of her hand. I think this is where Lord Sugar asked all 3 of them why they think they should get through to the final. Rochelle said that she's obviously been in business for a while. Marnie explained that although she has the least experience in terms of working, it doesn't mean she's the worst option. And Megan said that it could be good, especially with Lord Sugar's backing. He said that with Marnie's idea, it wasn't a gamble, with Marnie saying business is always about gambling. Megan said that her business is already working, and Lord Sugar said that his gut tells me that Megan was fired. So Megan came 3rd, so it's between Rochelle and Marnie, who was going to be Lord Sugar's business partner. Megan said she obviously didn't want to keep him sweet, and she's going to obviously go out there and work really, really hard. And Rochelle basically said we're in the final, and we obviously can't get over it, with Marnie saying it's very, very overwhelming. So that's pretty much it for episode 11. Like I said, we do only have 2 girls left, Rochelle and Marnie. So in the final episode, we will find out who Lord Sugar's business partner is for 2023. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching, and until my next review, thank you very much for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.